Look at this cover. Look at it! We don't get cover art like this anymore. How can you see the cover of this and not want to watch the movie? Sweet Revenge is a 1987 action-adventure film from director Mark Sobel. The movie opens in some sort of prison encampment. A group of women are trying to escape. They don't tell us what they're running from, so I'll just say it's a sweatshop that forces them to listen to nothing but Kesha. The guards shoot one of the girls, which then stops the rest of them in their tracks. What is this, Foxconn? Out comes the leader of the organization, and it's Generalissimo killed! And there's only one man that can stop him. After that dark opening, we get a theme song that is completely out of place. Sounds like it belongs in a superhero film from the 80s, not a women in prison revenge flick. We're then introduced to our sort of hero, Boon. He's a perfume bootlegger who's caught by a bunch of middle-aged insurance salesmen who are then gunned down. Somehow I doubt that anyone's believing that this is Chanel number 5. Boon escapes out the back of the cave on this rope slide. What purpose did that serve exactly? The bad guy is right behind Boon, and he didn't even have to climb down anything. Boon is stopped at a cliff and confronted by Gil, who's a henchman for a guy named Cicero.
Cicero's got no interest in you. It doesn't mean, however, I can't have a little fun.
Really smart. Drop the M16 to pull out a knife. Boon jumps off the cliff and falls at least 2 feet. Boon's recouping at a local bar when he sees a convenient news report from America about missing women. The reporter, Jillian Gray, is meeting with an informant who's going to tell her what he knows about the missing girls. She's trying awfully hard to put on a sexy voice.
This is Jillian Gray coming to you from Hollywood with the third in my series of unsolved disappearances of young women from the Los Angeles area.
Yes, the Los Angeles area. She's totally not in the Philippines. You can't fool me that she's in Los Angeles just by showing me stock footage. She meets up with an informant who tells her of a businessman named Cicero who kidnaps young girls and auctions them off somewhere in Asia. The informant runs into Sonia, Cicero's assassin. Sonia then kills Jillian's cameraman. And this song sounds vaguely familiar. We cut to a club where 2 friends, Tina and KC, are waiting for their friend Lee.
What the hell did you get chili dogs for?
You said Mexican food, Casey.
Since when are chili dogs considered Mexican food? The girls are supposed to meet up with some hotshot modeling agent. Jillian goes home to see her family.
Jamie, you know you're the most important thing in my life.
Really?
Yes, honey, right after my reporting job.
Sonia, hi.
Hi.
I told you she'd show up.
Gosh, I'm really sorry I'm late. I got delayed with some last-minute shooting.
Sonia tells the girls she has to catch a flight.
Okay, lady, you got 15 minutes.
The girls ride with Sonia to the airport. Isn't she supposed to be convincing them? They just sit there in silence. No, that's not at all suspicious. Sonia and Gil kidnap the girls. She then goes to Jillian's house, kills her husband, and kidnaps her. She's had a busy evening. The girls wake up in Thailand. Listen, girls, if you run into this guy, don't let him show you anything. They put Jillian in the holding cell with the other girls. While heading to their destination, the girls manage to escape. They run through the bar that Boon frequents, and he delays the guys chasing them. Sonia cuts them off and Gil shoots Tina.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Lee.
This is all your fault. Boon knocks out Gil, and then he gets knocked out. Sonia takes the girls and Boon to the Cicero Research Foundation. Jillian's brought to see Cicero.
Dateline Los Angeles, UPI. The whereabouts of television reporter Jillian Gray remain unknown. The FBI has no leads or information. The entire nation remains in shock.
The entire nation is in shock, but this report only makes the back of the paper. Joke's on him, he now has herpes. Cicero goes to talk to Boon to warn him to stop messing with his business.
This is a big country, Mr. Boon.
Dreams stay with you, like a lover's voice parts the mountainside. The girls are put up for auction, but fight back. I don't believe she knows kung fu. The three rescue Boon, and then he helps them escape. Cicero's troops chase after them, but they get taken out in a very A-team fashion. Jillian wants to go back to Cicero to find out where her daughter is. Lee and KC wander through the woods and find a waterfall. Their best friend was just killed this morning, and they were almost sold into slavery. Now seems like a good time to frolic naked. The gang goes to meet Boon's friend Buddha. In exchange for Buddha to help them, he asks Boon to pick up some cargo for him. Boon and the girls go to get the cargo, but the pirate has other plans. They manage to get away thanks to KC's newfound stealth skills. As they get away, the pirates shoot at them, and it sure is a good thing that 2-foot-tall high wood picket fencing makes great cover from gunfire. Back at Buddha's hideout, Sonia and Gil blow up the joint with a helicopter. Why is this machine gun making a handgun sound? When Boon and the girls return, they find the place destroyed. Buddha gives them the info to get Cicero and tells Jillian he couldn't find out anything about her daughter. They take off, and he stares blankly at the camera. They head to Boon's hideout to get supplies and prepare to go after Cicero. Also, so Boon and Jillian can have sex. She seems a bit too happy. Didn't her husband just die like 3 days ago? She now has at least 3 STDs. The group gears up and attacks Cicero's fortress. Just so I'm clear on this, 2 models, a news reporter, and a perfume counterfeiter managed to take on an entire fortress of heavily armed guards. Sonia and Gil double-cross Cicero and take off with his money. He hangs onto the helicopter as they fly away. You can tell it's high in the air by the terrible fake sky in the background. Remember when I said that Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man had a bad green screen fall? This is worse. Sonia then double-crosses Gil. Then Jillian pushes a button to blow up a model of a helicopter. Jillian thanks Boon, and then the girls head back to the US. The world's worst reporters are there to see Jillian, who then has a tearful reunion with her daughter. Turns out this miscellaneous couple had her the whole time. The movie was filmed mostly in the Philippines. This was made towards the end of the Filipino filmmaking craze of the 70s and 80s. Many filmmakers like Roger Corman and John Landis loved making movies in the Philippines due to their beautiful scenery, cheap labor, and complete lack of safety regulations. Director Mark Sobel has mostly done TV work, and it shows. The film feels more like a made-for-TV movie. This is aided by its super short 78-minute runtime and its abuse of transition wipes. He's worked on some great TV shows like Quantum Leap, The Equalizer, and the vastly underrated War of the Worlds. Nancy Allen had this movie come out the same year as RoboCop. I'm sure she'd rather people remember her character of Officer Lewis over this. Oscar winner Martin Landau played Cicero. It was interesting to see him playing a villain because every time I see him, all I can think about is how awesome he was as Bela Lugosi in Ed Wood. Then I remember he was also in Sliver and... let's not talk about that. Landau was kind of wasted in the film. Here you had this great actor as your villain, and I think he was on screen for about 10 minutes. The lovely Gina Gershon played KC. She was by far the best character in the movie, and not just because she's attractive. She was a tough girl who was enjoying a little too much adapting to this new cruel environment. Even though Gershon was in a few movies before this, Sweet Revenge was her first major role. A year later, she was in Red Heat and Cocktail, and then a few years after that, she made movie history starring in the legendary disaster Showgirls. Ted Shackelford played Boon. He's a famous soap opera star from shows like Dallas, Knots Landing, and The Young and the Restless. He was supposed to be the hero of the movie, but ended up looking like a wuss next to the girls.
Good call, Turkey. Got any other brilliant suggestions?
See ya. Ladies?
They were originally planning for this to be a series about the character of Boon, but after it was filmed, they changed the title of the film from Boon to Sweet Revenge. There must be something in the air in the Philippines, because everyone in the movie could be knocked out if you so much as tapped them. This movie is terrible. You get a hero that isn't very heroic, a villain that's barely there, and a script that was probably 3 pages long. That said, there still is a certain charm to it. It's never dull, and there are some pretty good explosions. The weirdest thing is it has some elements of a women in prison film, but it skips out on the most important factor of that genre: non-stop nudity.
she think she is, Bruce Lee?